So good morning friends, today I am going to discuss about a topic in introduction to GST. I am Hyder Ali, assistant professor working in Government First Grade College, Punjab. So first of all, we would like to just go about presentation outline regarding pre-GST scenario in India. What is tax? What are direct taxes and indirect taxes? Proportionate and progressive regressive taxation, central taxes, state taxes, VAT, constitutional amendments, and appropriation taxes and finance commission. These are the topics which is outlined for the pre-GST taxation system in our country. Then we will move on to the GST regime and where the taxation system after 2017 has emerged. Tax is a compulsory levy charged by the government are imposed on the citizens by the government without having any quid pro quo, without having any direct consideration. So the taxpayer may not directly obtain the benefit of the taxes which he has paid. Maybe he may gain indirectly, but directly taxpayer does not get any benefit out of tax. That is why it is called tax. It is a levy. So there are different types of taxes prevailing. Basically, taxes can be classified based on its impact and incidence of a person paying tax. So based on that, tax can be classified into direct tax and indirect tax. Direct tax is a system of taxation in which impact and incidence of taxation lies with the same person. Indirect tax is a system of taxation in which impact of taxation lies with one and incidence with the other. For example, this impact and incidence can be given with a simple example. For example, as a lecturer, at the end of the year, I pay taxes, income tax. So, for example, if my income is crossing 5 lakh and I am paying around 50,000 tax, let's say, rough estimate it is. So, the net income which I get out of my income, total income is 5 lakh, is only 4 lakh 50,000 because 50,000 I pay tax. So to whom I am paying tax? To the government. From whose income I am paying tax? My own income. So when I receive income, I pay tax. So the impact, the burden of taxation is on me. Also, I only directly pay the tax. So the person who is paying taxes or the time of payment of tax, that is called incidence of taxation. The person who is actually feeling the burden of the taxation, feeling the pinch of taxation, it is called impact. So indirect tax like income tax and corporate tax, the feeling the burden of taxation, that is impact of taxation, and incidence of the taxation lies with the same person. Whereas whenever I buy any articles, maybe matchbox, maybe my dress materials, maybe my any items which I buy, books, whatever it may be, I pay tax. So that tax I do not know that how much I paid because it is paid by somebody else. The burden of the taxation is shifted on me. So incidence of taxation is not with me. Somebody else is what we call paying on to the government on behalf of me. But actually I have to suffer or I have to impact the burden, facing the burden of the taxation is on me. The burden is shifted on me. So that is called indirect taxation. All sorts of taxes on commodities and services, goods and services are all of indirect taxation. ಓಕೆ, ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು. ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಜನರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ವಿಧಿಸುವಂತ ಒಂದು ಕರ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರೇಷನ್ ಕೊಡದೇನೆ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಜನರಿಗೆ ನೇರವಾದ ಏನು ಬೆನಿಫಿಟ್ ಸಿಗಲ್ಲ, ಇಂಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಬೆನಿಫಿಟ್ ಸಿಗ್ಬೋದು, ಆದ್ರೆ ಅವರ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ರೀತಿಯ ಬೆನಿಫಿಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಒಂದು ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಅವರ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೊಣೆ ಮಾಡುವಂತ, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ರೀತಿಯ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಒಂದು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್, ನೇರ ತೆರಿಗೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಇಂಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್, ಪರೋಕ್ಷ ತೆರಿಗೆ. ನೇರ ತೆರಿಗೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ತೆರಿಗೆಯನ್ನ ಕಟ್ಟುವವನು ಮತ್ತು ತೆರಿಗೆಯ ಭಾರವನ್ನು ಹೊರುವವನು ಒಬ್ಬನೇ ಆಗಿರ್ತಾನೆ. ಇಂಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ತೆರಿಗೆಯನ್ನ ಕಟ್ಟುವುದು ಮತ್ತು ತೆರಿಗೆಯ ಭಾರವನ್ನು ಹೊರುವವರು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ರೀತಿ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ನಾನು ನನ್ನ ಇನ್ಕಮಿನ ಮೇಲೆ ನಾನು ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಕಟ್ತೇನೆ. ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಕಟ್ಟುದು? ಸರ್ಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ. ಯಾರು ಕಟ್ಟುದು? ನಾನೇ ಕಟ್ಟುದು. ಅದರ ಹೊಣೆ ಯಾರಿಗೆ? ಅದರ ಭಾರ ಯಾರಿಗೆ? ತೆರಿಗೆಯ ತೊಂದರೆ ಯಾರಿಗೆ? ನನಗೆ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ಸಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾರು ಕಟ್ಟುವುದು ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ, ಇಂಪ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಅದರ ಹೊಣೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥದ್ದು. ಸೊ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಪ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮತ್ತು ಇನ್ಸಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಒಬ್ಬನೇ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಂಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಪ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಒಬ್ಬ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಇನ್ಸಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬರ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಸರ್ಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಉತ್ಪಾದನೆ ಮಾಡುವ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಕಟ್ತಾನೆ ಅಥವಾ ಸಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡುವ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಕಟ್ತಾನೆ. ಆದರೆ ಅವನು ಕಟ್ಟುತ್ತಾನಾಗ ಅದರ ಬರ್ಡನ್ ಅನ್ನ, ಅದರ ಹೊಣೆಯನ್ನು ನಮ್ಮ ಮೇಲೆ ಶಿಫ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ಸಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾರು ಕಟ್ಟುವುದಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಕಟ್ಟುವುದು ಯಾರು ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರ್ ಇರ್ತಾನೆ, ಯಾರು ಸಪ್ಲೈಯರ್ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಯಾರು ಸೇಲ್ ಮಾಡೋರು ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವ್ರು ಕಟ್ತಾರೆ. ಆದರೆ ಅದರ ಹೊಣೆಯನ್ನ, ಅದರ ಭಾರವನ್ನ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಹಾಕ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮೇಲೆ ಅದರ ತೆರಿಗೆಯನ್ನ, ನಾವು ಅದರ ದುಡ್ಡನ್ನ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ, ಅವರು ಕಟ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಅದು ಇಂಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಇಂಪ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಮೇಲೆ, ಇನ್ಸಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬರ ಮೇಲೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಇನ್ನು ಪ್ರಪೋರ್ಷನೇಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರೆಸಿವ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸೇಷನ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ, ಮತ್ತೆ ರಿಗ್ರೆಸಿವ್ ಕೂಡ ಇದೆ. ಪ್ರಪೋರ್ಷನೇಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಈಗ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸೇಷನ್ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಪೋರ್ಷನೇಟ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸೇಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಪ್ರಪೋರ್ಷನೇಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದೇ ಪರ್ಸೆಂಟೇಜ್ ಆಫ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸೇಷನ್. ಒಂದೇ ಪರ್ಸೆಂಟೇಜ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ವಸ್ತುಗಳ ಬೆಲೆಯ ಮೇಲೆ 5%. 1 ಲಕ್ಷದ ಬೆಲೆ ಆದ್ರೆ 5% ಆದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟಾಗುತ್ತೆ? 5,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ. 2 ಲಕ್ಷ ಆದ್ರೆ 10,000, 3 ಲಕ್ಷ ಆದ್ರೆ 15,000. ಈ ರೀತಿ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಒಂದು ವಸ್ತುವಿಗೆ 5% ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ 1 ಲಕ್ಷದ ವಸ್ತುವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಖರೀದಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ 5,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಕಟ್ಟಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. 2 ಲಕ್ಷ ಖರೀದಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ 10,000, 3 ಲಕ್ಷ ಖರೀದಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ 15,000. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದೇ ರೇಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ ಆಗುದಿಲ್ಲ, ಎಷ್ಟೇ ಖರೀದಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಕೂಡ ಅಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರಪೋರ್ಷನಲ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕಟ್ಟಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸೇಷನ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಯಾವ್ದಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರೆಸಿವ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್. ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರೆಸಿವ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? As you pay more taxes, as your income raises, you have to pay more taxes. Income ಇಲ್ಲದವರಿಗೆ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಪ್ ಟು 2,50,000 people are exempted from paying income tax. As your income raises from 2,50,000 to 5 lakh, you have to pay 5%. From 5 lakh to 10 lakh, you have to pay 20%. If your income is above 10 lakhs, you have to pay 30%. Again, if your income is crossing 1 crore, you have to pay surcharge as well. So that means what? As and when your income increases, you are paying more taxes. If there is no income, no tax. If your income increases, your taxation rate will be increasing. That is progressive. The idea behind this progressive rate of taxation is that people who are having less income, they should not be burdened with the tax. Whereas people who are having more income, they are having more income, so they have to pay more taxes. So it is a kind of punishment for the rich and for the beneficial for the poor, so that it is trying to establish a social justice or equity system wherein from the poor has to benefit it and rich has to pay the tax. That's it. Then regressive taxation. So, I said proportionate. The proportionate taxation sometimes is also regressive. Progressive means what? As and when income of the people increases, they have to pay more taxes. So that means for the poor people, they need not pay tax because they cannot afford for the paying taxes. Whereas rich people, if their income increases, their tax more they have to pay. It is not proportionate. As income increases, you have to pay at a higher rate of taxation. So that's quite progressive. Regressive, for example, a person who is a poor person, he buys how many matchboxes? Only one matchbox. Matchbox is, if it is taxed 10%, if he is paying 5 rupees for matchboxes, he has to pay 50 paisa as tax. Okay. Whereas a rich person buys a matchbox, he also pays the same percentage of tax. So that means what? A poor person is left away with less income, so he will become more poorer. Whereas a rich person, he has to pay same taxes, even though he is not going to buy more matchboxes. He is buying only one matchbox of income. So that means what? He will be left away with more income. So there is no discrimination on poor and rich on this taxation. That is why its impact is on poor. Poor will be suffering. So that's a kind of regressive taxation system. So then we have some taxes are charged by central government, that is called central taxes. Some central government is levying, for example, central sales and services taxes, etc., etc. Now it has been changed. Earlier I'm talking about state taxes. State is also charging different types of taxes, like manufacturing goods, there is a tax. Sale of the goods, there is a tax. There is VAT as well. VAT means value added taxes. Okay. And then 2017 we have started GST regime. So there it required a constitutional amendment. Then the taxes has to be appropriated between the states, and for that finance commission sometimes plays a major role. So this is how small introduction. I would like to just go for GST introduction in the next classes in detail. So thank you for listening. If you are having any doubt, feel free to ask questions.